maybe like start talking about like what your like typical day in the life looks like. What kind of work
Mm.
do you do on a daily basis?
Okay, on a daily basis, Yvonne, I'm a transitioner. I work with local communities. I work with communities in Nigeria here, basically, in Delta and in Ori, my locality. So we have different communities, and because of how climate change has been, it has affected and it has eaten deep into the Nigerian system, and it's affected us a great deal. And just before I came on this call, I was writing a concept note. I was not just I was upgrading my concept note for school gardening. So for part of transitioning, I work with school gardening, to teach the children how to understand what food is, where food is from. Children just feel some children don't know where the food comes from. So my daily life is wake up in the morning and I face the community. It's either we're doing something that has to do with climate change and we're doing another with electricity or all related to climate change, another climate action SDG 13, or we are going into the schools, going into the communities, meeting with women, men, and other people in communities, talking about how to better the communities, how to make sure that we get fresh air, good food, especially maybe food gotten from the field, from the water, in terms of seafood and all that, uncontaminated. So I have a team working with me, and everyone's goal is to see that we have a better society, a more conducive atmosphere, roads without deaths littered on the road, and making sure that, of course, we'll be able to pass that mindset to the next generation and keep going till we go home to see our Creator.
Yeah, you mentioned that you a lot of your work involves working with children. Is that one of the project called the Love Garden project that you're working on?
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
yes, I
yeah,
think I've
yeah.
read it somewhere.
Oh,
Like, well,
yeah.
I'm wondering, like, why do you want to start working with children? Is that bringing you a different perspective to climate change?
What I have seen is because we are Africans, there are a lot of things that we didn't understand while we were growing up. If we had understood it better, I'm sure we would have acted better. So there's no best time while we educate the adults, the male, the female, we should invest in our future. Because to get the mothers and the fathers, we need the children. Every mom and dad will listen to their children and will want to work with their children on projects, you know, and every other thing. A mom and a dad will prefer to work with their children compared on their children's project compared to an external project from anywhere than a community project. So we catch the kids, indoctrinate them, like teach them what it means to have a better society. And the young ones are so eager to learn. They want to try on things. They want to learn numeracy and literacy. They want to measure one depth, one seed hole to the other. They want to say, oh, to plant a cucumber, you have to take it 30 centimeters. And they want to do that. So, and they go home, they understand about thriving, their seed thriving, they're getting better, and the moms and the dads want to work with them. So while the moms and the dads, which is the adults, hear from the children, they also hear from us. So it's a two-way street. So it's no longer one-sided. It's now together. With that, interest is built, attention is given, and results come up better. That's the idea.
Wow, that's a very good entry point. I like if you are educating the children, they actually bring in part of the energy, bring part of what they've learned to their family and to their community. I think it's just really interesting.
Thank you. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
And I think I was also reading Don's blog on his experience of co-facilitating the transition training and also the transition town warrior launch. I'm wondering, like, can you maybe tell us like your side of a story? How did you
Oh,
feel about those events?
it was a lot. It was a lot because it started when I went to the UK for my masters in risk disaster and environmental management, and I picked interest, and I've never heard of that before. Saying that people come together to make life better for themselves, starting from just a simple local. I think I joined Marsden and Slight with Transition Town, network. And coming back home, I had always envisaged to really have a good time. I wanted to know what's happening down here. I did questionnaires. I picked it up as my dissertation. It was a lot. It started years ago. And because of the interest, I never gave up. Coming back and getting everyone to come down for Transition Town launch, it was also optimistic. It was a big deal. It was a big deal because the people have always wanted help. They wanted, they just want better. They want the community to be better. They want to have food at ease. They would like to have plants in their backyard, like backyard gardens. They would like to have better water, but they don't really know how. So they needed somebody to come and, suggest to them to just hold it up and just man it and say, don't worry, just come with me and we'll do it this way. So that experience for me was bringing everybody together from different communities. It was a lot. It was a whole lot, really. It was like, I don't know how to start explaining, but it was a lot on Don, and really kudos to him. He inspires me a lot with his work. So I said, if Don Hall could do this and he still does it, so why can't I? I know I don't have much help from the locality. I know that I don't have much people understanding Transition Town, but starting, I went in from one community to another to tell them. I sold the idea. I started marketing Transition Network here in Africa, here in Nigeria, and a lot of people were interested from all walks of life, university, lecturers, name it, from all, like people from the communities, youth leaders, doctors from universities, teachers, mothers, businessmen and women. Everyone had something to say. Everyone had plans. When they say, with the question that there's a question they ask some people, and they say, if you have help, if you are giving $10,000 or if you're giving $100 million, what will you do? And they'll tell you they will make this environment a better place. We're not longer going to have deaths on the road. Everyone had that plan. Every one of them had that plan. They had the plan in there, some written, some not written, but they didn't know how to comment. Everyone thought money was what would bring. Everyone just think money is what will bring their plan to life, not knowing that simple coming together, imagining together, bringing ideas together, ideation, and the light bulb moment comes, and we pick up a project and say, you know what, let's focus on this one project at a time. And everybody realized that, oh yes, we don't have to rush out. We don't have to do this. We just have to learn the procedures. We just have to learn, especially the model in applying and executing a project and making sure that it's not just a project, but it's something that everybody learns from and want to continue. That's one of my in executing, but in setting up, it's going to take a whole day to talk about.
Right. Yeah. And feel like there's like already existing like a very big crowd, like audience for like the environmental community work because people they want to do something and what they need is something that brings them together to do this
Together,
stuff.
yeah, Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I also have a kind of similar background because I'm from China and I did my master here in the UK in climate change.
Amazing. Oh,
And
wow.
also that was like the year before last year. And also at the end of my master year, I was like, I need to do something. Then I reached out to the Transition Network and I started volunteering with them from that point on. So yeah, it's just
Amazing.
really interesting to see like how different local community groups, different projects, they have such interesting like approach to climate issues, like how they are trying to portray this like like positive narrative about climate change, about how we can actually do things.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, I'm
yes.
wondering, like, you were also talking about like bring the concept of transition, bring this idea to Nigeria, to Africa. I'm wondering what exactly do you see in transition that makes it really attractive?
You know, living in a community or living in a nation where, live in a community where you just want to go to. I love nature.
So
Because I
yes,
love nature, that's my point of relaxation. That's where I go to relax. And realizing that there's nothing like that is happening, it's not easy to relax anymore because I don't get to see nature. And when I get there, it's busy, it's dirty, it's it's not something to write home about. It's a threat as far as I'm concerned. Not just threats to the organisms, not just threat to the water, the life in the water or the life inside the water, but threat to us. So because of that, I choose to transition. I choose see we and also is an I'm from the Niger Delta, is an oil producing they are oil producing communities. When I was growing up in the secondary school, I always told my mom that I'm going to read environmental management. I'm going to come back home to make the community better. Something happened when I was should be about 15 years old. A set of people went to the oil to the infrastructure, the pipeline, the oil pipe, crude oil pipeline infrastructure, and for no reason, I can't say they had a good reason. They broke the pipe. Yeah, and it exploded. It exploded. It killed thousands of people. It took away the community. Like it eliminated, it was so much. There was so much mass burial. Like remembering it is so heartbreaking. And the effect of that oil pipeline vandalization we suffer till today. That community is still a mess because we can't plant it. It's not far away from where I live. The effect on the soil, the humans, the water bodies, the mangroves. The climate in that area is a mess. Deserted. So I always told my mom, I am going to be that woman that will come back to transform the community, that will come back and say, you know what, we can be better. No matter what, I will lend my voice. I will give my heart. A lot of people kept saying, why did you come back from the UK? Why did you come back from the UK? Why just don't stay in the UK? A lot of people came back to say, you should go back to the UK. You should, everybody kept speaking, but I believe that we can be better. So the vision is to see that our communities become better. The vision is to see that we can plant and seed ourselves. In this part of the world, people never thought they could do cucumbers, tomatoes, cabbage. We love gardening. We started growing cucumbers because of course I went into learning, every procedure, the hacks, everything I could do to make sure that we plant and be able to get a plant and transfer the plant to the other generation, give it to people. Just today I was thinking about the training trainers so that We can go wild. I was just thinking about 50 gardens in 2030. How do we get there? You know, it has to, we have to train trainers, give them the curriculum, make them think, own it themselves. What's the best? That's what I've been writing since the beginning of the day. And I've taken over 5 hours and I'm at the last lap of it. All is to be able to see. I already know it. I want to be able to transfer to the communities, to the people, that this is possible. And I kid you not, I have a whole lot of people that say, wow, we never knew we could do this. Wow, we never knew we could do this. And everyone is going into it. That's a plus for me. Talking about agriculture, yes. Climate, I am passionate about the mangroves. You know, I really want the mangroves to be better. I travel all the way to the sea, up there. Risky, but when you see the whole place, it's been depleted. It's a mess. So because I've always had these dreams, this look, this vision, not even dreams, that's just been in my head right from when I was a teenager. So I think I've just been carrying it as a burden, you know, and anything to transition, anything to be better. Mind you, I don't keep knowledge. As soon as I get knowledge, I get the pipe. I get like a structure, a funnel to teach and keep teaching and keep multiplying in knowledge so the people become aware. So when Transition Network came, what when I got it, there's no better way to express transition than in networks. So I see the network of people, you know. So myself giving information, giving the knowledge, calling, bringing the people from all over the world to be able to transmit knowledge via the network of people in the community. That's it.
I feel like you have like such like passion for the thing that you are doing, and I can definitely see like how much you feel like you are personally connected to those projects. I'm wondering, like, through your years of working on climate change and community work, what are some of the changes those work and have like brought to you personally?
Okay, one major change is that I have people that are ready to come together and effect change. Is major for me. So, what transition launch, that training did for me and for the community is to be able to effect, cause a light bulb moment where everybody wants to work, wants to change. Everyone wants to hear. Everybody wants to, be a part of the change. That's massive for me. That's it for me because with that we get people from all over saying they have these, they heard these. Everyone wants to contribute. So that's a major change, amongst others. But you see that having people ready to carry out the change is major for me. And Transition Network brought that.
Yeah. And also, like, is there any like major up and downs in your career of working on like community-led programs, and particularly at those like lowest moment, what kept you going?
Hope. Yeah. One thing I just trust and I just hope. I just feel that whenever I get to those low moments, those very low moments where my life is at risk at times, going to some areas, in terms of going way up the sea, like going into the high seas, going into places, just having issues with trying to get results. I just remember I just go back to the picture in my head that says these communities can be better. You don't give up, you know. Yes, I can get to that low place, but giving up is not an option. Some people died becoming, and they're still respected till today. Some people died, scientists, world leaders died. Some died for freedom. Some died trying to make sure that they get their theory right and over there. So I just believe that mine is not going to be different. So I believe in hope. I just hope. I just know that there's hope. As long as I have life, as long as there's breath in me, life goes on. The change must happen.
Yeah.
Not going
I feel
back.
like I feel like hope is really a very like powerful thing to have. If you just be like very pessimistic all day and just looking at all those negativity, it's very hard to even like get up in the morning and get up to do things.
Yes, yes. I know I insisted on Don coming in for the training, and after I had after he'd gone back to base, I thought about it. He came all the way. He came all the way. That in itself is encouraging. That in itself is going to a place you've never been before, meeting the people you've never. He didn't even know what to expect. you know with that's all the way from the US. So there's nothing on earth around here that will scare me from working and from causing change to keep happening in the communities.
Yeah. I feel like every time I hear like stories like this, it just makes me feel really empowered to see like how people they are really determined, they are really driven to do these things. Yeah.
Yes, same here,
And
same here.
probably like some of the last questions we have, if there's like one message you are asked to leave after the interview, what is that one message?
The one message I have is things have to change for the best. Things have to change, and if they have to change, there must be someone, some group of people, a group of community to carry the message of change. We don't give up until our eyes are closed. We keep pushing, and of course, we'll have help. Help comes. As long as we're optimistic, we will have help. That's my message to everyone. Never to give up. Always be persistent. The change to the climate, to the environment, to food insecurity, to gender inequality, and lots of economical problems, we will see the change happen with hope and persistence. That's
Yeah.
about it, Haya.
Yes, I think that's a very like timely message because particularly now we're having like all sorts of different crises in the world. It's very like needed to have the right mind space, like mindset for it. And also, one last thing is something we do for this project is we will ask our previous guests to see if they have any question for our next interviewee. So the question from our previous guest, so the question from Arena is, what makes you happy?
I said nature. Nature makes me happy. It's my
Yeah.
happy place. Nature is my happy place.
Yeah, I do think there's like a kind of like calming effect. Like every time when I go into a forest, go to the harbor side or the river side, it just quiets my mind so much.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. It makes me relax. It gives me, I'll tell you, that's why I think I smell hope from nature. So whenever I want to be happy, be excited, I want to detox, I want to just breathe, I go to nature, to the woods, I go to the riverside, and I just sit there calm and I just meditate. And I'm excited. There's no amount of money or no amount of, talks I have with my friends that will ever bring that to me. So yes, nature is a place.
Yes, I can definitely feel that. And also, do you have any question for our next guest?
Okay. So the question I have for our next guest is impact. How how much can you go to impact the society where you live? Impact. Yes.
Yeah. And also, if you are asked this question, what would your answer be?
I'll give it all. I'll give it my as much. I'll give it my best to impact. That's the journey. My journey, the process is impact. I don't know what the goal, the end goal will be, but my life's goal is impact. So I will cry. I will. I don't mind crying to cause impact. I don't mind. Like crying is what a woman doesn't want to do. But I don't mind crying. If it will make me cry, I don't mind. After crying, I'll clean my tears, and I'll keep going.
That's really powerful. Thank you so much. And thank you
Thank
so much for taking the time to do this. And I personally, I feel really like inspired and uplifted. I think that's the kind of a spirit that we all need.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored. I'm so honored to be on this podcast, and I wish you very well. And hopefully in the future we'll do better and more work together. I am.
Yes, and also because I'm back in the UK now to do my PhD around climate activism, which like most of
Wow.
my inspiration I got are from like Transition Network and also some of the courses that I've taken here. So
Yes, yes, yes. I'm thinking of coming to the UK in 2026, maybe just to do like a visit or something. But I thought of maybe going further in education, but I just want to come have like a time, understand what's happening, how's the work going over there. Since that was where I got the inspiration from, it's good to come back to see what's happening.
yes, because I really do believe like a lot of the times when we talk about like climate solutions, we always look at like renewable energies or like technological fix, but these are just the things that are driving like consumption up. So I just think like the solution can be like bottom up, can be really community based, and there are a lot of solutions out there, and they already work, and we just need to like tell their stories and help them like upscale their efforts.
True. Sometime in August, we had a boot camp for kids. Again, back to kids. We had a boot camp for kids and we had a module called climate activism. And the kids were so excited to go out there to talk about climate change and climate action. Yes, I'll send you a video. I'll send you a video of what the kids did. It was amazing. It was mind blowing. They went to the mangroves because, of course, the communities in the riverine area, they used the mangroves to cook, to make food. They just cut the woods and use it for, firewood to make food and all that. And the children went into the communities, they got into the boats, big boats with all the life jackets and everything. It was amazing. They went with their placards, with the arts. They did something called climate arts to say stop burning bushes, stop vandalizing the pipelines. It was amazing. We went to the communities, and people came out again. Children, the power of children going for climate activism. Everybody came out to say, "Oh wow, kids! Oh kids! Oh kids!" And just went say, the kids went going. They just went each to each of the streets, and it was beautiful. So, climate activism is something that I love, and is
Yeah,
in is in my heart.
yeah, and also I feel like if it's the children who are doing the talking, like people would want to listen because they are
They
kids.
want to, yeah. Yes, they want to listen. And they kept, children who come and, children, they came and they drew like an art, climate art on like a big board, like a big, and they went, this is a community, you know, imagining imagination. So they went through imagination to say, imagine what your community would be if everything was okay. What it was your ideal community, and you will imagine what these children ideated. Beautiful community, and I was like, wow. So they took the story of a beautiful community to the streets and spoke to the neighborhood, the sisters, the neighbors, to say this is what we would love our community to be, and they heard them, it's just not very easy to go with children, but it's worth it.
Yeah, that gets me feeling like very hopeful. Like I can't wait to see how those children are gonna grow up with these ideas and carry those ideas as they like become adults, like work into different professions. It's really hopeful now.
It is. We just pray. We just pray. We have supports from people, from organizations. It wasn't easy going through that, but we're hopeful. With support from, we're optimistic. We're hopeful that we get support, and we keep moving. We keep pushing.
Yeah,
The skies as a stepping stone.
yeah. And yes, thank you so much again for taking the time to do this and for saying all those things. And I hope people can get inspired as much as I do.